Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video in which we are going to learn about function arguments in Python programming. So guys, in computer programming, a function argument is a value that is accepted by a function, which we have already seen in the previous video as well. Now the function argument with default values. So in Python, we can provide default values to function arguments. So we use the equal operator to provide default values, and this is the syntax, that is def keyword we use, followed by add numbers, that is the function name, and then we assign some default values to the variables. So guys, let us check this with the help of examples. So over here previously we had seen that the sum numbers function that we had used in order to add two numbers, it was having two parameters. So over here a and b were the parameters, and we were simply printing the sum of these two numbers, that is a plus b, inside the print function, and then we were simply calling this function over here. So sum numbers, so let's say we have two numbers as 10 and 20. So I'll just save this file and try running this code now. So guys, this is a very simple method, that is sum numbers, which takes two arguments a and b. It is just adding those two numbers and printing them, and the function is being called over here. The result is being displayed, that is 30, based on the value that we pass. Now guys, there is another important thing. This function argument can also have the default values. So let's say if we don't provide these values, that is a and b over here, so what happens in this case? So let me just save this file and try running this code now. As you can see, it says some numbers missing two required positional arguments, that is a and b. So guys, there is an error. That's because the program is expecting us to provide these two values, that is a and b, which we have not provided while calling the function. So let's say in your requirement you want to call the function, but sometimes there will not be any value while calling that function. So what you can do is you can provide some default values to this a and b. So how do you do that? You can simply provide the default values over here when you are defining this function. So over here we have a, it is equal to 10, and let's say b is equal to 20. So these are nothing but some default values that we have provided. So let's say next time whenever there is a sum numbers function that is being called without any value of a and b, so these values will be used, that is a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20, and a plus b sum will be returned. So let me just save this file now and try running this code. So as you can see, 30 is being returned over here. Now let's say you provide one argument, that is a value you have but b value you don't have. So what you will do is simply you will provide a, it is equal to 50. So let's say you want a's value as 50 but you don't have b value. So b value will be automatically taken from here, that is b is equal to 20. We save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, 70 is getting printed. That's because a's value you have provided, which is 50, which replaces this default value, that is 10. So this time a is 50 and b was already 20 and it is not being provided over here. So b's value will be considered as 20 and the sum will be displayed over here. So guys, this is the way that the default values in the arguments work. Now guys, there is another thing, that is Python keyword argument. In keyword arguments, the arguments are assigned based on the name of the arguments. So for example, first name and then last name. So guys, we will continue with the same example over here. Let's say we have the arguments as a and b. We will just remove these default values over here. Now what we will do is, while printing the sum, we will also print the value of a and b. So over here we will have the statement, that is sum of, and then we have a is equal to, then we will provide a value, and then we have comma once again, and then let's say we have double quotes and we have ampersand character over here, and b is equal to, then we should have the b value as well, and then we have the equal to operator over here, and then we have a plus b. So guys, what exactly we are doing is sum of a equal to, we are printing the value of a, and b is equal to, we are printing the value of b, and then equal to a plus b. So this is nothing but we are formatting the string. So it will have the statement over here, that is sum of a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20 equal to 10 plus 20, which is equal to 30. So we have just formatted the string over here so that we can get the value of a and b that is being passed. So what we can do is simply, let's say I provide 10 and 30 over here, which will be assigned to a and b over here in this case. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. As you can see, sum of a is equal to 10. So this first parameter, that is 10, was being assigned to this variable, that is a, and then next time we have and b is equal to 30. So this value, that is 30, was assigned to this variable, that is b over here, and that is why b is equal to 30. And then we have equal to 40, which is the sum of both these numbers. Now guys, let's say we want to interchange these values. We want to display the a value as 30 and b value as 10 over here. So what we can do is simply we can keep this 10 and 30 in the same sequence, but we can assign it by using the variable name. So over here b is equal to 30. So what we are doing exactly is this variable name, that is b, we are using that variable name while calling that function, and we are assigning that value. So b value will be 10 in this case, and then we say a is equal to 30. So basically what we have done is we have interchanged the values. We have kept the sequence of values over here, but the variable will be having different values. First b will be assigned the value, that is 10 over here, and then a will be assigned the value as 30 in this case. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, sum of a is equal to 30. So a was assigned the value as 30 and b is equal to 10. So b was assigned the value as 10 and the sum will be 40 in this case. So if you don't want to follow the sequence in which it is present inside the function definition, the arguments values, you can provide their names over here and provide the values to the variable names. So guys, this is another way in order to pass the arguments. Now there is another thing, that is Python function with arbitrary arguments. So sometimes we do not know in advance a number of arguments that will be passed into a function. To handle this kind of situation, we can use the arbitrary arguments, and then this is the syntax, that is we use the star character over here. So let's say in this case we just have two parameters over here, but let's say if we have more than two parameters and we don't know what is the number of parameters that will be present. So what we can simply do is we can simply have the star character over here, and then we can have the variable names over here. Numbers is the arguments that we are providing, and then what we will do is, let's say we want to provide the sum of all the numbers. So sum, it is equal to 0 in this case, and then we will go with the help of for loop. So for x in numbers. So basically this is kind of a list over here that we are providing, and we are going to iterate all the numbers inside the list, and then we have colon, and then we can have sum, it is equal to sum plus x, and then after this we can have the print statement. So we can simply put sum of all numbers colon, and then we can simply have the sum variable name. Now guys, in the same way we can call this function, that is sum numbers, and we can have any number of arguments now this time. So basically this star numbers will help us in order to have any number of arguments. So let's say we simply provide the number 1, and let me just save this file and try running this code now. You can see sum of all numbers, it is equal to 1 because 1 was the only number that we have provided. Now I'll simply copy and paste this line of code, and let's say I provide top 5 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this time we are having 5 arguments now. So first time it was just 1 argument, this time it is 5 arguments. So basically the number of arguments is dynamic. We don't know how many number of arguments will be coming over here in this function. In this case we can use this star character along with the argument name. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. As you can see, the first line it is saying sum of all numbers, it is 1. The next line is sum of all numbers, it is 15. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, and then plus 5, it is 15 over here. Let's say we have another line of code. We call the sum numbers once again. We provide 10 plus 20 plus 100 this time. So only 3 numbers. Let me just save this file and try running this code now. This time the sum of all numbers, it is equal to 130. So basically 10 plus 20 is 30 plus 100, it is equal to 130. So guys, this is another way you can provide only one argument along with the star if you are not sure how many number of arguments can be passed while calling this function. So guys, these are certain important factors as far as Python function arguments are concerned. So please make sure that you practice on your own so that on different inputs you get different output. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is recursion function in Python programming. So stay tuned.